Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Caribbean Soul Food Duo. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today, I'm going to be bringing you an old school, down home Southern dish, black eyed peas. My granny cooked this dish for me often when I was a little girl. I had no appreciation for black eyed peas at that time, but I have come to love black eyed peas. They're very inexpensive to make. They're very easy to make and they are very tasty. So let's grab our ingredients and dig right in. Okay guys, we're ready to get started with our black eyed pea recipe. What you're gonna need for ingredients here, gonna be very simple, very basic. Again, as I tell you, we like to keep it simple at Caribbean Soul Food Duo because we believe that people get overwhelmed sometimes with a lot of ingredients, but you can still have tasty dishes that's very affordable, and it gives you all of the great flavor that you would get with a normal dish without killing the taste of your food. I mean, these are black eyed peas, and we don't want to kill the taste of our black eyed peas. So we've already washed our hands really, really good. We always want to start out with very clean hands. What I've done here, and you want to do this, you're going to want to soak your peas. And I would say soak your peas for about an hour to an hour and a half. If you look at them, they tend to swell a little. When I purchased these, this is a 1 pound bag, and they looked so tiny in the bag, and I thought, oh my God, these are too little. I don't want to take these home. But when we brought them home and washed them, you want to wash them really thoroughly. And after that, you're going to want to soak them with water that covers to the top of them, because that water is going to start to absorb inside the pea, which is going to give the pea a swell look. Now, in the process of doing that, you also want to do what we call pick the peas, kind of like picking the greens. And when we pick our peas, we go into our peas and we start looking for peas that have discolorations on them or things that just don't look normal. And if I put that up, I don't know if you can see, there's little brown spots, little holes inside. Maybe they have discoloration. This little guy is kind of gray. This little guy has lots of speckles all over. We don't want to eat those peas. They just don't look attractive. So we are going to take those out, and they're not going to go in the pot when we're cooking. So we're going to take our peas once they have been soaked for 1 to 2 hours, and we're going to take those along with our meat. This is a sweet meat. It's a cured pork meat. I cooked with this recently. I've been adding this. I love cooking with turkey. Turkey is fine, but if you use turkey, again, you want to, boil it for a couple of hours. You want to take it off out of the pot and debone it. Get all the bones, all the fat and the skin off, and make it a clean meat. The sweet meat, you don't need to remove it from the pot. Everything cooks up. It does have some bones. If there are little children eating this dish, please be careful that your children do not encounter a bone within their peas. You may want to go through that when you're serving and take out any smaller bones that you see. But these are very visible bones. They're not like little tiny, sparky spiked bones. They're very, noticeable. You won't miss them pretty much. You may run into one every now and then, but when you chew down, you'll feel it. So you're going to want to take your sweet meat after you've washed it really good. Your peas have been washed really good. This is a 1 pound bag again. And they've been soaked for 1 to 2 hours. We're going to add some Creole seasoning. We're going to add some regular sea salt. I love sea salt. I like the way it cooks up. I love the flavor of it. And we're going to add some extra virgin olive oil. These are all going to be items that are going to be seasoned to taste. Totally up to you. But we're going to add them along the way in the cooking process. They're also good items to pair with this at the end if you'd like. Number one are sliced tomatoes, fresh onion. You can also use green onion, cucumber, and my favorite of all, the jalapeno peppers. These guys are so hot. Remember, I had these on my balcony garden this summer. They are super, super hot. Just a few days ago, I made a pepper sauce with some of these. And once you put all these ingredients together, when we get them, we're going to take the peas along with the meat, and we're going to put them into a pot of boiling water on the stove. And you're gonna use a pot that's gonna be, you know, your normal cooking pot where you cook for your family. You know, this would feed a great family of 6 people easily. So you're gonna wanna have your water boiling when you're doing all of the preparation so that you can put your meat and your peas into the boiling water. So we're gonna take a break right here and go and show you how we add them to our boiling water, okay? Okay guys, we're gonna add our meat into our boiling water here. It's been boiling for a few minutes. It's all ready to go. And our peas are gonna take an hour, hour and a half for cook time at a low, you know, to medium heat. So I think we can cook our meat and our peas along together. I don't think it's gonna make a difference. So we're going to take our peas now and we're going to add them with the meat in the pot. It's boiling water, boiling water. I think that goes pretty good together. And we're going to add some seasoning salt. Now this we kind of do, you know, by eyeballing. We don't really measure it out because along the way you can add as it, you know, fits your taste. We're going to add a couple of tablespoons of salt. Again, you're probably going to want to add some more, but we don't want to over salt to start. We know we'll probably need to add some more. And we're going to eyeball our olive oil again. And we're going to have to stir these. So you want to get your olive oil really, you know, covering the top to make it look really shiny. It's just really pretty sitting at the top. Kind of covers. And then we're going to stir this so it all mixes in well together. And we're going to put this on a low to medium heat where we keep it boiling as much as possible. And we're going to put our lid on and crack the lid. You don't want to close it with the lid because that's going to cause it to boil up and over. So I would suggest leaving the lid cracked. We're going to bring all this to a boil again. We're going to let it cook for about 45 minutes. We'll come back. We're going to continue to stir. We'll taste along the way to see if the peas have started to get soft. You'll know they're done when they actually start to get a little soft. So we're going to come back in about 45 minutes and see where we stand in the cooking process to see what we need to add. But keep stirring so that they don't stick to the bottom. And I think that if you have enough water in, if you can see right here, I have water that covers the peas pretty well and the meat. So that's all going to cook down. You know, some people, if you'd like to add, you know, to this later, it's a little broth, that's fine. But again, these are the basics to get you a great pot of peas. You don't have to do much more than this. So stay tuned. I will come back in a few minutes to check out and see where we are, okay? Okay, guys, we're back. And our beans have been cooking for our peas have been cooking for about 45 minutes so far. We're going to see our water has cooked down. Let's take a couple of the peas and just kind of put on our hands here and just kind of figure out what's going on as far as whether or not they're done or how they're cooking up. Nice and soft. But we want to continue to cook them with the meat. We need all the seasonings from the meat to kind of flow through the peas. So we're going to add a little more water. I have a half a cup based on what I have in my pot, so I'm going to add that. The seasonings seem to blend in very well. Again, our hands are clean. We washed our hands before we started back this second part of the process. And I'm going to stir. If you want to add more seasonings, feel free to, to do that. Again, I used Morton natural sea salt. I love this. I used the Cajun seasoning and the extra virgin olive oil. That's pretty much all the ingredients you need. You can add some black pepper as you like. I think I'll add some black pepper. And you can kind of add this along the way, again, based on what you like in your seasonings. Black pep, I mean, black eyed peas. They're so good. It doesn't take a lot to get them really going and flowing with that old-fashioned taste. So you don't have to do a lot to these to really make the flavor stand out. Along with some good cornbread, you got a great meal with the meat. Now in here I have sweet meat. So sweet meat needs to cook a little longer than the average meat. So you need to like continue to cook these. It's kind of like turkey. You got to continue to cook these. I would say cook these on a low cooking temperature. So that right now you don't want the peas to boil fast out of the shell. So we're going to cook these for about another hour, 45 minutes maybe. You want to check your peas and your meat. And I think that in 45 minutes to an hour, they'll be ready to serve. So again, the ingredients are pretty simple. This is a great dish. It's a great old-fashioned down-home southern dish that my grandmother made. So continue to cook them for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I think you'll have a great pot of peas, and we'll come back with the final dish to let you see what it looks like. But continue to stir also. You don't want to, you don't want to like walk away and let your juice start to, kind of disintegrate away and your peas start to stick to the bottom of the pot. So you're going to want to continue to stir them just like this, just keeping everything circular going around. And I think you have a really, really good pot of peas. So let's give it some time to cook. We'll say another 45 minutes to an hour, and we should have a great pot of peas. Okay, we'll see you back. Okay, guys, we're back, and we're going to check on our peas and see where we stand as far as how close to being done that they really are. And they're cooking up really good. We still have lots of water left, which is going to give them an opportunity to cook, and they cook down. So as the cooking process continues, the water starts to evaporate, and it gives your peas more of a thicker broth. So let's take a fork and just see where we stand with the peas. See if they're near being done. We'll take one pea and here and taste it. Very good. Nice and soft. So now we want them to continue to cook because our meat has to cook also. We don't want to have like done peas and meat that's not totally cooked. So if you want to add more seasonings at this point, when you taste your peas, this would be a good time to do so because they're going to the final stage of cooking. And again, I used sea salt, Cajun seasoning, extra virgin olive oil, and black pepper. So if you want to add something at this point, this is a great time to do it. And you will continue to stir your peas as they continue to cook. I would say turn them down on a low setting so that now I give it another hour. I think the peas need about 1.5 to 2 hours cooking. Once you start them to boil, you want to turn them down. You don't want the fire to keep like blasting and blazing and cooking them out of the shell. So you're going to want to turn them, down on a low cooking temperature so they cook up really slow and they cook evenly along with the meat. So now I've done this. I'm going to cover the peas back, and I'm going to let my peas cook for another 45 minutes to an hour, and I think the meat will be very tender at that point.
Hey, honey, are they ready yet?
No, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Honey's asking me if the peas are ready yet. Well, honey, it's going to take probably a couple hours total,
Okay.
hour and a half, but, overall, I'm sorry I made you wait
honey,
for these.
I can wait.
So, I made honey some cornbread, so we're going to have,
Thank you, baby.
yeah, we're going to have some peas with sweet meat and cornbread.
Ooh, can't wait.
Yep, so we're going to have those for dinner. And we're going to add those nice ingredients I talked about, the fresh onion. Well, we're going to have regular onion, and we're going to have cucumber and tomato and jalapenos. Oh, just for a great little, evening snack. We're going to have some peas. Peas are very healthy for you. They have a lot of vitamins in them. Yeah, a lot of iron. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. This bag of peas cost me less than $1.50. along with the sweet meat, another, $3. So you got a good meal for your family, and it's very, very affordable, but it's also very healthy. So don't get wrapped up in purchasing things that you think your family may want as far as good food, but is it really healthy for them? Consider the cost of taking your family of, 2 to 4 out for dinner and what it costs and what you could actually make a good meal at home with. When you raise your children, you want to raise them on this kind of stuff. You want to grow them eating peas and beans and greens because they grow to love this. But if you grow your kids from a fast food restaurant, that's what they're going to expect all of their days, and they're going to suffer for that, for obesity. And that's a whole different topic for me. But you want to give your kids meals that are healthy and affordable to you, where everyone wins. So let's let our peas cook for another 45 minutes to an hour on a very low heat, and by then you should have a great pot of peas and be headed toward a great meal with whatever you want to pair with them. Okay, we will be back shortly to give you the finished product. Okay guys, there you have the finished peas with the smoked meat, a piece of cornbread. I have it paired with some tomatoes, a jalapeno, some fresh onion, and cucumbers. Those are all optional, but they make the peas even more tastier. That is just such a beautiful meal. It's such a tasty meal. If you just tune in a little closer here, you can see the smoke coming from the peas. Yummy. So delicious. So again, this is very simple to make. If you would like to, when you're making your peas, you can also start to cook your meat maybe an hour earlier, and then your cooking time will be cut down even less than when we actually started the recipe. So you just want to make sure your peas and your meat are cooked well. You don't want to overcook them because then they will be like mush. But they're pretty easy to make. Like I said, they're very healthy and very affordable. So I'm going to eat this great meal all by myself, unless Honey wants to share.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I think I'm going to make Honey a plate also.
Please do, honey.
I will, baby. Okay, so enjoy your meal. And again, I will see you on the next episode or the next Caribbean Soul Food Duo with another good recipe. But before you leave today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for future recipes. Okay? Thanks.